Your home is your castle, but your digital network is the gateway. And without proper defenses, that gateway can be wide open for intruders. Welcome, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through this explainer today, because we are going to look at exactly how to lock down that gateway and finally take back control of your digital life.
So, we're going to rely pretty heavily on this whole anatomy of a defense metaphor today. Think of your digital life as a literal fortress. You have your outer moat, your inner courtyard, and then those armored carriages you use when you have to travel out into the dangerous open public lands. Today, we're building our digital defenses layer by layer, starting from the outside in, and we'll be pulling from some really incredible verified data, from Verizon's massive data breach investigations report to the NSA's own best practices, just to show you exactly what works.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this number right here is the reality check we all desperately need. 180% increase. According to the 2024 Verizon Data Breach Investigations Report, which actually analyzed over 30,000 real-world security incidents, attacks exploiting vulnerabilities have almost tripled compared to the previous year. Threat actors, who are usually driven by ransomware or extortion, are out there aggressively probing the outer walls of our networks, literally just looking for any tiny crack in the masonry to force their way in. Now, what's really interesting about this is that despite all the high-tech, super complex hacking tools out there, 68% of breaches still involve a human element. And honestly, the speed at which this happens is terrifying. The Verizon data shows that when a phishing email lands in an inbox, it takes a median time of just 21 seconds for a user to click a malicious link, and only another 28 seconds to enter their private data. I mean, that means it takes less than 60 seconds for a user to completely compromise the castle. This is exactly why we need robust, automated defenses that protect us even when we make a human error.
And that brings us to our very first layer of defense, the digital moat. A firewall is fundamentally a system that enforces an access control policy between networks. It sits right at the boundary of your network and the wild west of the open internet, basically preventing uninvited, undesirable traffic from entering your prescribed areas. If you don't have a configured firewall, well, you effectively have no moat. Anyone on the internet can just walk right up to your front door and test the lock.
But as you might guess, not all moats are built the same. Let's compare the two foundational types. First, you have the packet filtering firewall. Imagine this as a security guard standing at the gate checking the ID or the headers of every single packet of data trying to get in. If the ID matches the guest list, they come in. But this guard is easily tricked by a fake mustache. Enter the stateful firewall. Originally developed way back in 1989 by AT&T Bell Labs, this was a massive game changer. A stateful firewall doesn't just check IDs, it tracks the actual flow and state of the data. It remembers that you asked for a specific website, and it only allows data back in if it belongs to that existing verified conversation.
Section 1. Securing the inner courtyard. Home networks. It's time to cross the moat and enter the inside of our fortress.
And this brilliantly illustrates the National Security Agency's Cybersecurity Information Sheet on home network best practices. You can see they account for absolutely everything, from ensuring your web browser uses transit encryption, to physically covering the webcam on your laptop, to even muting Home Assistants so they aren't listening in on sensitive conversations. Security inside the courtyard is just as much about physical device management as it is about the software.
Breaking down the NSA's specific actionable steps for your router, there are a few non-negotiables we need to talk about. First, your Wi-Fi needs to use WPA3 encryption, or at the very least WPA2 for your older devices, to keep the airwaves scrambled. Second, ensure your router has Network Address Translation, or NAT, enabled. This essentially acts as an internal firewall, hiding your individual devices from the outside world. And finally, you absolutely must schedule automatic firmware updates and weekly reboots. A firewall running out-of-date software is basically like a fortress wall made of crumbling stone.
But here is perhaps the most powerful piece of advice from the NSA for your home courtyard. Segment your networks and separate your devices. You should not, under any circumstances, have your highly vulnerable Internet of Things devices, like smart light bulbs or wireless printers, mingling on the exact same network as the laptop you use to log into your bank account. Use your router to create a primary network, a guest network, and a dedicated IoT network. And whenever possible, use specific devices for specific tasks. Please don't let the kids install unregulated gaming mods on the exact same machine you use to file your taxes.
Now we have to leave the safety of the castle. Say you take your laptop or smartphone to a local coffee shop, an airport, or a hotel. You connect to their free Wi-Fi, and you see that familiar little lock icon in your browser's address bar right next to the HTTPS. So is that lock icon actually enough to protect your data while you're in foreign territory?
Spoiler alert, the unsettling reality is no, it's not. And yet, studies show that roughly 85% of people are completely unaware of the massive risks lurking on public Wi-Fi. They don't realize that the free airport Wi-Fi network they just happily connected to might actually be a fake access point broadcast by a hacker sitting 3 rows away, setting up what's known as a man-in-the-middle attack.
So the crucial point is exactly this. HTTPS just isn't enough on its own. While HTTPS does encrypt your connection to a specific website, if you are connected to a malicious public Wi-Fi hotspot, a sophisticated attacker can intercept your initial connection and perform a TLS downgrade attack. They effectively strip away the secure HTTPS connection and force your browser to communicate in plain text, meaning it's as readable to them as a postcard, completely exposing your passwords and private data.
This is exactly why, when you leave the castle, you must travel in an armored carriage. And that is your VPN, or Virtual Private Network. A VPN solves the public Wi-Fi problem by encrypting absolutely all of your device's traffic and routing it through a secure server before it ever even hits the open internet. It masks your IP address, and it ensures that even if you accidentally connect to a hacker's fake Wi-Fi point, all they will see is an unbreakable stream of cryptographic gibberish.
But listen, just like firewalls, not all VPNs are created equal. High-quality VPN providers, like the ones analyzing this threat model, highlight 4 core defenses you absolutely must look for. You need strong military-grade encryption. You need an independently verified no-logs policy, meaning the VPN company itself isn't recording your data to sell it later. You need dedicated DNS servers so your local internet provider can't see the list of websites you're asking to visit. And finally, you need a kill switch.
Let me explain why the kill switch is so brilliant. Imagine you're in that coffee shop, safely browsing through your VPN, but your internet connection drops for a split second. Without a kill switch, your device might try to quickly silently reconnect using the open, unsecured Wi-Fi without you even noticing, spilling your private data instantly. A kill switch acts as an immediate failsafe. If the armored carriage breaks down, it instantly locks all the doors, completely blocking all network traffic until that secure VPN connection can be reestablished.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground today, but securing your digital gateway ultimately comes down to a really empowering straightforward action plan. Step 1. Tonight, log into your home router, check for firmware updates, and turn on automatic patching. Step 2. While you're in there, segment your home network. Kick those smart TVs and speakers onto their own isolated guest Wi-Fi. Step 3. Never, ever treat public Wi-Fi as safe. Always engage a reputable VPN before you send a single byte of data in public.
You know, securing our networks isn't just about protecting ourselves. It's about protecting our entire digital community. So if you've learned something new about keeping your network safe, share this explainer with your friends and family. Let's help everyone stay secure. We really are only as safe as the weakest link in our social circles.
I want to leave you with this one final thought as you look at your own devices. The threats are out there, scaling up by 180% year over year, searching for easy targets in a matter of seconds. You now have the blueprints for the firewall moat, the network courtyard, and the VPN carriage. So I just have to ask, are you leaving your digital gate wide open today? Take 10 minutes, lock it down, and take back your peace of mind. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and stay safe out there.